A man's emotional support alligator has gone missing, and all hands on deck. The Loch Ness Monster asks NASA to help them find the beast, and a restaurant worker put his genitalia in a jar of jelly, according to authorities. These are the weird stories on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast. I'm going to give you a bonus segment in there as well, so stay tuned for that. So we'll get 4 stories in today. I'm feeling generous. What can I say? A man says his emotional support alligator has gone missing. And what's worse is the gator forgot to say, "See you later." Come on, guys. That's a great joke right up top. What are you expecting here, huh? It's a joke about a missing emotional support alligator. I didn't even know you could have an emotional support alligator. I've heard of the dogs and the miniature ponies, or horses, rather, but apparently you can have an alligator. And before you prejudge, I'm going to say I'm looking at a photo of this emotional support alligator, and looks like he could probably provide some emotional support. Looks like a lovely gator. In the photo, the man's hug, I assume it's the owner, hugging the gator. Gator seems to enjoy the hug. Has the gator been declawed and detoothed? I'd like to know that before you take him to a birthday party to entertain the children. Jumping into the story, we have a Pennsylvania man who credits an alligator named Wally for helping relieve his depression for about a decade. Says he's searching for Wally, the emotional support reptile, after it went missing during his recent vacation to the coast of Georgia. This guy's name is Joe Henney. Joe Henney has lots of social media followers, much more than your author. I should say your show host. His social media is devoted to Wally, the cold-blooded companion that he calls his emotional support alligator. Wally's popularity soared to new heights last year when the gator was denied entry to a Philadelphia Phillies game. Did I cover that story? I think I might have. I think I've covered Wally before. This was the second time Wally has crept up into the annals of Weird AF News. Isn't that what you call them, annals? Or is it annals? I can't... It's in the annals of Weird AF News. That doesn't sound kosher. Anyways, back to the story. Poor Joe Henney. He's distraught after Wally vanished while he was on vacation in a place called Brunswick, Georgia, which is a port city 70 miles south of Savannah, in case you're wondering. He said he suspects someone stole Wally from the fenced outdoor enclosure where Wally was spending his nights. Who would steal someone's pet? That's a twisted critter right there, I'll tell you. Be stealing someone's pet. And why would you steal an alligator? It's just a strange pet to steal. What are you going to get for an alligator? You're going to sell it on Craigslist? It's Georgia. There's alligators everywhere, I assume. This isn't special. In social media posts on his account, Henney said pranksters left Wally outside the home of someone. That person called authorities, which resulted in Wally being trapped and released into the wild. How does he know all this information? All right, now apparently the Georgia Department of Natural Resources confirmed that someone in the Brunswick area reported a nuisance alligator the day that Joe said Wally went missing, and that a licensed trapper was dispatched to capture the nuisance gator. The agency said in a statement that the gator was released in a remote location, but stressed that it doesn't know if the reptile was Wally or not. I would like to, for a moment, go back and do another pass over the phrase nuisance alligator, which is what it was reported as, a nuisance alligator. Aren't most alligators a nuisance? Do you even have to put nuisance next to the alligator? It's kind of a joke. I'd like to report an alligator on my front porch. Well, sir, would you claim that that's a nuisance alligator? Yeah, it's on my front porch. It's a bit of a nuisance. And if we're being honest, an alligator anywhere within my eyesight is definitely a nuisance. All right? Do we have to put nuisance in front of alligator? It seems so ridiculous. I would like to report a Tasmanian devil inside my Honda Civic. Yes. Oh, would you say that that's a nuisance Tasmanian devil? Yeah, I'd say it's a nuisance Tasmanian devil. It's in my Honda, but anywhere else it'd still be a nuisance. It's a Tasmanian devil. I don't know if you've seen the claws on those things. The article says it's illegal in Georgia for people to keep alligators without a special license or a permit. According to the State Department of Natural Resources, they say it doesn't grant permits for pet gators. Pennsylvania has no state law against owning alligators, though it is illegal for owners to release them into the wild, I should hope. How did this guy get the Wally on a plane Or no, he probably just drove from Pennsylvania to Georgia. I'm assuming he didn't get Wally on a plane. Although the emotional support animals that they approve for these plane flights sometimes make your head spin. We have here David Mixon, a wildlife biologist and a coastal supervisor for the Georgia Department of Natural Resources. He's handled plenty of alligators reported in people's backyards and swimming pools. He's also shown gators kept in captivity in presentations to school groups and Boy Scout troops. He said even alligators that seem docile can be pretty dangerous, and he always makes sure to hold their mouths closed with a hand or preferably a band of some sort. All right, I just skimmed down to the bottom of the article here. I'm getting no information on the whereabouts of Wally, if there's any sort of rescue team on the case, out there in the swamps looking for, I don't know how you even find an alligator in the swamp. There's going to be so many alligators out there. Maybe Wally has a favorite food, like now-and-laters? Maybe you just go to the edge of the swamp and just hold out some watermelon now-and-laters and just call for Wally. Do you think he'd be... I say now-and-laters because they're chewy. You would think that an alligator would like something chewy. Like, do you guys remember Laffy Taffy? What about maybe Twizzlers? Yeah, I could see a gator liking Twizzlers as well. Maybe you get there, you get a package of Twizzlers, you shake them around. The red ones, obviously. Those black ones, I don't even know why. They should just do away with those altogether. No one's eating those. So you shake the red Twizzlers. Even the strawberry's pretty good. And then you hope that Wally comes to the shoreline and gets his Twizzlers, his favorite snack. I mean, I don't know how you find this guy. It's so sad that this individual, Joe, has now been detached from his emotional support gator. This is everything to him. And, all we can do is pray that they get Wally back, And perhaps we could feed the kidnappers to Wally as a consolation prize. NASA has been asked to help find the Loch Ness Monster. You would think NASA has better things to do. And by the way, don't they handle aliens? They're not really in the whole cryptoid department. Cryptoids, is that what they call them? I think so. Cryptoids. Let me Google this. My bad, it's cryptid. Cryptids are animals that cryptozoologists believe may exist somewhere in the wild, but whose present existence is disputed or unsubstantiated by science, such as the Loch Ness Monster, the Jersey Devil, the Loveland Frog, I don't know what that is, the Cadborosaurus, and obviously the Bigfoot. So the Loch Ness is a cryptid. Let's get back into the article and see what they need NASA to do. We have here the Loch Ness Center. They've urged the space agency, NASA, to lend its expertise in a fresh hunt for the legendary creature. What are you bothering NASA with this for? All right. Maybe they get some technology that's... They got satellites that can penetrate the surface of that loch. I was going to call it a lake, but technically it's a loch. I don't know what the difference between a lake and a loch is. I'm sure someone that listens to this will send me that information and annoy the crap out of me. So last year, one of the biggest searches for Loch Ness in the Highlands concluded with a hydrophone capturing loud underwater noises and several potential sightings. Potential sightings? Come on, guys. What are we doing here? There's no Loch Ness Monster. Are we all aware of this? This is an intelligence test. And if you believe in the Loch Ness Monster, you're failing the test. The latest search will take place on the 90th anniversary of Sir Edward Mountain's expedition from the 30th of May to June 2nd. Since that first expedition in 1934, the watchers of the monster there have been over 1,156 sightings recorded on the official Loch Ness Monster Register. I mean, this is part of the problem. So that first picture was taken on that exhibition in 1934. That photo, the famous photo of the Loch Ness Monster from that expedition, has been debunked as a hoax. I think the guy admitted on his deathbed or something that it was a hoax. Anyways, and this is what they're basing it on. And over 1,000 sightings, guys. Come on. This is all just a bunch of PR flackery to get people to go visit this ridiculously cold, stupid lake. Can you imagine how windy and nasty it is there? Why would you ever vacation there? Imagine being a child and your parents bring you there. Hey, we're going to this... we're going to the woods, this cold, windy lake. Yay, so much fun. Yeah, okay. We have Amy Todd, who works for the Loch Ness Center. I don't know how she sleeps at night. She says, we are hoping that Nessie hunters around the world will help us reach the people at NASA. Yeah, we're all going to just tweet at NASA. I'm sure they'll respond. Hey, we're still waiting for a response from NASA. We've sent them a letter. She says, we are hoping to reach them through the power of social media. We're just hoping for their expert guidance to help with our ongoing quest to get answers. She says, we have gone to UK universities as well. We are hoping that experts from NASA might have some advanced imaging technology to scan the loch. We would have to sit down and talk to them about how to get it here. Yeah, I'm sure they got nothing better to do than to talk to you about scanning the loch for some mythological fantasy creature. Oh, man, it's almost as though they don't understand that science is a little busy right now doing like real work. Although on this show, Weird AF News, I've proven on many occasions that really science isn't doing a lot of science. So maybe they will take upon this task to help find a fantastic beast. I mean, the stuff I've covered on here that science is doing is just ridiculous. So maybe. Volunteers during the new search will be tasked to keep an eye on the surface, looking for breaks in the water. They will be briefed on what to look out for and how to record findings. I would love to be in that meeting room where they show you the instructional video of how to spot a dinosaur in the water. That's basically what it is. What they're saying it is. Yes, you want to look for breaks in the water. You want to look out for these things, and they teach you how to record findings. That's good. You should teach people how to record the findings because no one can seem to get a photo or video of any of this crap. So that would be the first thing you should teach people, how to turn their camera on. See that thing you got in your pocket? It's called a phone. That's what you whip it out. You take a photo or a video. There's a red button there. That's what you want to hit. Yeah. All of these sightings, 1,150, how many? None of them have a clear picture of the damn thing. It's just, I guess you would call that, it's nothing but a coincidence. It's just a coincidence. That's a coincidence that no one has a clear picture of a Bigfoot or a Loch Ness or the Jersey Devil. That's just a coincidence. It says, those unable to make the search in person can get involved. Ooh, how can I get involved? Other than tweeting at NASA or calling them, I'm called JPL. They can get involved through the live cameras on the Visit Inverness Loch Ness website. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's a documentary. They're going to screen a documentary. They created a monster, a documentary exploring the monster hunting frenzy in the 1970s and 80s. It'll take place with special Q&A with the director of the film. Nessie hunters can also go out on a boat and not get laid. Go out on a boat with deep scan captain Alistair Matheson, the skipper for the Loch Ness project, as well as Mr. McKenna. Who's Mr. McKenna? Another dork using an 18-meter hydrophone to listen for mysterious sounds echoing from the depths of the loch. Wow, there's a photo of the Loch Ness Center. It's a giant castle. Wow, they got a budget over there. You guys got enough money to afford your own satellite imaging techniques, I would say, looking at this. Wow, how much money did they make on these people just showing up and I don't even know where... Could I have a tour of the loch? I would like to take my son on the tour of the loch. He wants to see the creature. Yes, we got some kayaks leaving at 2 p.m. Get on, get your binoculars and make sure you bring a phone that doesn't work. That's what we specialize in. Phone can never get a photo of the damn thing, this water beast. The Loch Ness Center is located at the old Drumnadrogic Hotel, where it is said manager Aldi McKay reported seeing a, quote, water beast in Loch Ness 90 years ago. Yeah, of course, it helps you out if you saw a water beast. That gets people to your hotel. That gets people to your lake. You know, if you get people believing in fantasies, then they'll come around because people can't get enough. They love hauntings and all that stuff. That's how you get people going. It's good. It's smart business. The chances of NASA helping you out are slim to none. This is a letter from NASA. Dear Loch Ness researchers, in quotes. Nah, we're good. Yours truly, NASA. Yay! A restaurant worker put his genitals in a jar of jelly, according to the authorities. This is very disturbing. I'm so sorry that I'm covering this story, but I did 2 animal stories, so let's do a genitalia in a jar of jelly story. Why not? This was sent to me by a disturbed listener of the show, I believe. We have this guy named Othello Holmes. Othello Holmes, he sounds so regal. You wouldn't think that Othello Holmes would put his genitalia into a jar of jelly, would you? No. Othello Holmes is running Loch Ness Monster tours in Scotland. Othello Holmes put his genitals into some food. Now, are we all surprised that this sort of stuff happens? I mean, they say it's disturbing, but it's not disturbing if you've ever worked in the food industry, which I have. I've seen people urinate in the mashed potatoes before. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. I didn't partake in that. I did not partake in that. But I also didn't snitch. I was very young, and there was a lot of peer pressure on me. I'll probably have to answer to that at some point in life. And, you know, although if we're being honest, I've probably eaten since then some urine-tainted mashed potatoes myself. I'm sure this is how the universe gets you back anyways. I've definitely have had some marinara that had been whizzed in, I'm sure, in my lifetime. Maybe a dipping sauce that had been compromised. We have here a restaurant worker in Houston, Texas, who faces escalating legal jeopardy after allegedly dipping his genitals into food at a business. The constable's office said they looked into Othello Lorenzo Holmes, age 27, some more, and discovered that he possessed an immense amount of child pornography. Get out of here. A guy that puts his genitalia into a jar of jelly also possesses an immense amount of child pornography. I would have never guessed that. Here's a quote from the constable. People still call him a constable? I haven't heard that in a while. Once our investigators got a call from the restaurant owner, we not only arrested him after viewing video evidence, but we also noticed he had thousands of child pornography files on his phone. He was rearrested because our investigators went the extra mile to look into the guy who appears to be a predator. That's what we got going on. Yep. Well, you know, anybody who's dipping their in the mashed potatoes is gonna, needs to be looked into. You need to check their laptops too. Check all the laptops. Authorities say they started investigating at the beginning of April regarding the food despoilment. Despoilment. I've never heard of this word. This took place at a restaurant called Culture. Holmes allegedly said he put his genitals in jelly and that he had a sexual urge, quote, a sexual urge. However, he stopped himself before he consummated the urge. You know what I mean? He was going to touch himself into the jelly, it sounds like, but he stopped himself. He had a sexual... Instead, he just put his scrotum in the jelly instead. So, I mean, that's comforting if you ate at the restaurant that day. If you got the if you got the old PB&J to go. How'd you like to eat a PB&J from that place, and then you read the story about the guy who put his genitalia in a jar of jelly? Well, at least he's admitting that he's got urges, and that he's exacting some sort of self-control. I'm like, it's funny. He's like patting himself on the back. Hey, man, I stopped myself before I did the whole deed. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to be good. Well, the last place I worked at, just gonna say, hey, anybody that worked at the Arby's on Main Street from 2021 to 2023, you probably had some of my chemicals. We have the constable saying, quote, the things that I have seen and the behavior that I've seen, it is very disturbing. Yeah, he actually watched video footage of him putting his stuff in the... I mean, once again, there's cameras everywhere. What's it going to take for people to get their head around this? That there's cameras everywhere. Criminals are operating like it's 1989. They think that, none of this is... They pull guns out at the gas station. They think that that's not on camera. You're in a restaurant, bro. You don't think there's cameras everywhere in restaurants, fast food places. I mean, I just don't understand the stupidity. Although one could make the argument that this guy's just an insane person anyways, so you can't really even bring reason into this. Well, anyways, they shut down the establishment, the restaurant. They discarded all existing inventory, and they had the employee arrested immediately. All right, I really want to pull out of this story. I don't have any way to wrap it up. I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to quote the Beastie Boys. If this going to be that kind of party, I'm going to stick my in the mashed potatoes. Yay! A volcano in Antarctica is spewing tiny crystals of gold worth $6,000. It sounds like a dream, guys, but it's true in Antarctica. Gold rains down from the sky. Tucked in among the glaciers, fiery Mount Erebus is the southernmost active volcano on Earth, providing a bit of heat amid the frozen landscape of Antarctica. The frozen continent features 138 volcanoes. with around 9 of them reported as active volcanoes. With a summit elevation of 12,448 feet, Mount Erebus is the most well-known of these 9 active volcanoes. Erebus is one of 3 volcanoes that form what's called Ross Island. It's said that it was erupting when it was discovered in 1841 during the voyage of Captain James Clark Ross, who carried out important magnetic surveys in the Arctic and Antarctic and discovered the Ross Sea and the Victoria Land region of Antarctica. HMS Erebus was the name of one of his ships. Scientists still observe this volcano through the Mount Erebus Volcano Observatory and conduct field campaigns to look for extreme life forms in the area. The largest Antarctic settlement, McMurdo Station, operated by the United States, is located about 25 miles south of Mount Erebus and is within sight of the volcano. The volcano regularly pumps out plumes of gas and steam and has been known to eject boulders of partially molten rock known as volcanic bombs. Are we getting to the gold yet in this damn article? What the heck, man? It says, while volcanic bombs are exciting, it's the bursts of gas spraying tiny crystals of metallic gold that surprised the scientists recently. They estimate the volcano spews about 80 grams of gold a day. That's worth about $6,000. Ooh, there's gold in them there volcanoes, and now the rush is on. Come on, guys, get on your volcano hats. Let's get up there and get some of this free gold that's just falling from the sky. Got to let it cool off first. Just put it on a windowsill for a little while. That'll cool it off, right? Like a pie. This gold has been found hundreds of miles away from Mount Erebus. Oh, great. So we don't even have to get near the damn thing, because it sounds like a dangerous place to be. You don't want to be hanging around active volcanoes, even if the end result is free, valuable metals or gemstones. So you can find the gold hundreds of miles away. Antarctic researchers have detected traces of the gold dust in ambient air up to 621 miles away from the volcano. Guys, let's get a vacuum cleaners and go. We'll just take like a 250-mile radius around this volcano and suck up all the dust that we can. There's bound to be some gold in that dust. Some dusty gold, saving up money, my dusty gold from the volcano spew. Gonna save up my dusty gold and buy me a mule. Dusty gold for you. I just like the idea of free gold, to be honest with you. This is the end of the article. This is all we got. What? That's it? There was more information about the history of Antarctica than it was about this gold that's spewing from the damn thing, which is amazing. Oh, I gotta find a photo of it. All right, there's no photo here. There's just a picture of a volcano. What does the gold look like? I want to know, does it look like real gold? Or does it look like some sort of like, when they get that stuff out of the mine, it doesn't really look like gold. It looks like all, I don't know. I've watched a bunch of videos of people going into abandoned mines. On YouTube, they got these abandoned mine crawlers. These guys go. It's insane where they go. These abandoned mines are hundreds of years old, right? Up to. And they've been uninhabited for I don't know how long. A century. Everything is like unsafe, and these dudes go in there and they go levels and levels and levels down. They'll be like, yeah, I'm at level 9 down here. I can see that it's a few more levels further down if I keep going, and they just keep going. I'm like, whoa, bro. They shoot video of this. It blows my mind. Anyways, they come across gold veins, but it doesn't look like gold. It looks like green lines in the wall. So that's where you get the ore. You get it out of there somehow. So I'm just wondering if the gold that's actually coming from the volcano looks like gold, or does it look like looks like something else? You got to extract gold from it. It's like volcanic rock with the gold in it. Yeah, I got all kinds of questions per usual, and I'm just too dumb to figure this out. Hello, my friends and loyal listeners of the Weird AF News podcast. Thanks for spending some time with old Jonesy, who's back in the United States, safe and sound. Still dealing with my illness, but we're making it work here, guys. I want to thank everybody who reached out to me and showed some concern about my condition, checking on what condition my condition was in. You guys know where that's from? Also want to give love to Keith. Keith Saunders bought me coffees off my website, weirdafnews.com. You know the one. Keith wrote, been listening to your podcast for a year or so now, Jonesy, and love it. Just sent you a message via Facebook, checking to see if you're okay, buddy. Has no podcasts for a few days, to which you replied very quickly that you have been ill, which I was very sorry to hear, and hope you will feel better real soon. Thought I would send you a few coffees to help you get better. Good luck with your recovery, man. Keith from Wollaston in the UK. Isn't that lovely? What a nice guy Keith Saunders is. Super, super sweet. Checking in on me, getting me coffees. It's really, really lovely. And I'm a lucky guy. I got people checking in on me and, making sure I'm okay and buying me coffees to make me feel better. Shout out to Connie, by the way. I got home and I saw that I had a bag of 100 grand bars that she had sent me for my birthday. Ooh, yeah. 100 grand, my favorite candy bar, a nice little bag. So shout out to Connie. And she also enclosed an Amazon gift card. So stupendous birthday present, Connie. So big shout out to Connie Fortune from Georgia. And she's very, very generous and supportive gal. Supportive Southern gal. That's what we like around here. Anyways, feeling slightly better, but still dealing with issues down below. My intestinal fortitude has been tested for sure. But that's what happens when you eat too much street food. You get E. coli is what you get. That's nature's way of saying maybe eat food that's made in a real kitchen. Yeah, okay, gotcha. How did cavemen deal with E. coli is what I want to know. Back in the day, they didn't have sanitary conditions where they were cooking the food. I guess they just burnt it all to a crisp, and they just ate everything burnt, and that was better. I don't know. Anyways, hopefully I'll be able to get each episode out the rest of the week. So I wanted to give you guys a Florida episode, though. I hope you enjoyed it, and hope you had a nice weekend and all that, and that you're safe and sound. And if you want to support the show, go to weirdafnews.com. You can buy me a coffee or join the Patreon. And if you want to email me, it's funnyjones@gmail.com. And then the phone number here, 646-450-2012. If you'd like to give a call, feel free to do so. Anyways, I'll let you go. Appreciate you, and we'll see you tomorrow. And good luck with your life, man.